this video, we're going to look at the third of the Batman films in this series, Batman Forever. So if you are new to this channel and you've not subscribed, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, it would be really helpful. I'm pushing to my target of 75 subscribers. Hopefully can get 100 by the summer. It would be really helpful if you could leave a subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at Batman Forever. Batman Forever is the 1995 third Batman movie in this franchise, directed by Joel Schumaker. Tim Burton stepped down as director and is the producer for this film. The screenplay was written by Lee Batchelor, Jan Scott Batchelor, and Akiva Goldsmith. Danny Elfman didn't return for the music and was replaced by Elliot Goldenthal. Val Kilmer takes the role of Batman. The villains in this film are Harvey Dent, Two-Face, played by Tommy Lee Jones, and the Riddler, Edward Nygma, played by Jim Carrey. Michael Gough reprises his role as Alfred, and Chris O'Donnell plays Robin and Dick Grayson. The film starts off with Batman following a hostage situation that Harvey Dent is involved in. It is shown on a news report that Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face from an acid attack in the courtroom that Batman was unable to stop, and now Harvey Dent blames Batman for this. A Wayne Enterprises scientist named Edward Nygma approaches Bruce Wayne with his invention that can beam television waves directly into his brain. Bruce Wayne has reservations about this and abruptly leaves the meeting when he sees the bat signal. Later that evening, Nygma's supervisor catches him using the device and they have a scuffle, and he hooks him up to the machine to show that it works. When he says he's fired, he throws him out of the window and rigs the camera to make it look like a suicide. During a circus performance where a family troupe, the Flying Graysons, are performing a trapeze act, Two-Face appears and threatens to detonate a bomb unless Batman surrenders himself. The family work together to get rid of the bomb, and Dick manages to get the bomb out of the tent. His family, though, fall to their deaths helping Dick remove the bomb. He swears revenge on Two-Face because of this. Bruce agrees to take him in as his ward, but is reluctant to stay until he is shown his extensive bike collection, and Bruce agrees that if he fixed up a bike he'll let him keep one, and he decides to stay. Edward Nygma has become the Riddler, and he visits Two-Face in his lair, persuading him to join forces to get Batman. Dick finds out Bruce's true identity and takes the Batmobile. At first he is angry that he didn't save his parents, but wants to join forces with Batman. He is reluctant to do this even when he saves his life. Riddler and Two-Face find out Bruce's real identity and invade Wayne Manor and destroy the Batcave and all of Batman's equipment he possesses. Bruce Wayne reveals though that he's been hiding some prototypes which survived the attack, and Robin joins him as they go on to face Riddler and Two-Face. Robin has a chance to kill Two-Face, but chooses to save him and make him face justice. However, he tricks Robin and captures him. Batman confronts the Riddler, and it's revealed that Robin and Chase are in the containment tubes with a certain death drop, and he can only save one. Batman destroys the Riddler's mind control device with a batarang, and this overwhelms the Riddler, and Batman saves both of them. Two-Face falls to his death by Batman deceiving him as he flips his coin to decide their fates, and Batman throws a bunch of coins at him, causing him to fall to his apparent death. Later in Arkham Asylum, Edward believes he is Batman as the device has driven him insane. Bruce and Chase part ways, and the film ends with Batman and Robin in costume running towards the camera. So this is a big change to the two Tim Burton films. Obviously the biggest one is the actor replacing Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer. Apparently Michael Keaton met up with Joel Schumaker and he just didn't like the direction of how the Batman films were going, so that's why Val Kilmer came aboard. It moved to a more family PG friendly style. I mean, there is some dark scenes into it which we'll talk about, but it just seemed more comic-y towards the 1960s style Batman. Allegedly this was for McDonald's to sell more Happy Meals because they were really struggling with Batman Returns to market the Happy Meal toys. I've heard that was one of the cases. I can't really verify it, but that's what I've heard in other videos as well, so it's quite interesting if that's true. In my opinion though, I think there's a good balance between the action and the comic-y style of the film. It draws a line at some places, but it's still okay. I think the main thing that was missing was the Danny Elfman score. I think it really hurt the film. And I think if Danny Elfman had come back to do the score, it would have added a bit of continuity between the Tim Burton films and this one, and would have made it a much better film, I think, in my opinion. Saying that though, there's quite a lot of good music in the films, such as the U2 song, which was a hit, and I really like the U2 video as well, which is the comic style Batman and all of U2 in it as well. That was really cool. Also, Seal's song Kiss of a Rose was re-released for the Batman film as well, with the video with Val Kilmer and the Bat Signal. And also there's the Offspring's version of Smash It Up Part 2 by The Damned, when Robin pinches the Batmobile, and I think that's really cool to have that in there as well. I think the darkest part of the film, in my opinion, is the death of the Flying Graysons. I remember when I was a kid, it really affected me watching that, and I thought I'd be alright watching it as an adult, but it still really affects me in a way, because obviously I know it's going to happen, but leading up to it, it's filmed really well, and it's a really effective scene, just how you can lose everything in a split second. Obviously they all died as heroes, but it leaves Robin on his own as an orphan, and I think it was filmed really well, like the build-up and the momentum to it, and just the anxiety. I mean, watching it for the first time, obviously from the original ones, you know, Dick Grayson was an orphan and he was a ward of Bruce Wayne. But I think watching it now, you sort of realise that it's not going to end well, and it's got that really cool build up to it. I think it's really good. I think it's a really good way to introduce Robin. It still adds that level of darkness. I mean, I'm not sure how Tim Burton would have done it if he'd have carried on doing the third Batman installment, but I think it's a really good scene. I mean, it's one of the best scenes of the film, I think. And Jim Carrey's performance as the Riddler really stands out. He really steals the show if he's like over-the-top comedic acting, but can get really serious as well, like being really psychotic and scary. He does a really good job. I think Tommy Lee Jones, allegedly he only did this role because his son persuaded him to do it, and he didn't really know anything about Batman, and I think reading the script, I think he was trying to act more like the Joker rather than Harvey Dent. I mean, he's a great actor, Tommy Lee Jones, so he does bring his presence to the role, but he's acting more of a Joker rather than a Harvey Dent character, but it's still great to see him as Two-Face. In my opinion as well, Val Kilmer's not a bad Batman, he's not the greatest, but he's not bad. As Batman and Bruce Wayne, I think he's got that aura as Batman, but not as Bruce Wayne. He's not as good as Michael Keaton, in my opinion. The only issue with the film I have really is how Robin gets over the death of his parents so quickly. It's sort of like, seems like months, like when he's in Wayne Manor and he's going to shoot off to kill Two-Face, but then the fact that he can stay and repair a bike makes him stay with Bruce. He seems to there's no grieving process, just as how Bruce spent all his childhood and adult life planning to get revenge for the death of his parents. Robin seems to get over that pretty quickly. I think they could have elaborated that on more, but that's my only criticism of that. But some facts about Robin as well. Apparently Christian Bale and Leonardo DiCaprio auditioned for that part. Imagine Christian Bale as a young Robin, and he never went on to The Dark Knight. Maybe Cillian Murphy would have got the role then rather than Christian Bale. That would have been really strange. And the part of the Riddler was offered to Robin Williams because he was knocked back first of all for the Joker, but when it was changed from Tim Burton to Joel Schumaker, so then he got knocked back again. Also Billy D. Williams as well. He was signed on to play Harvey Dent twice, but then with Joel Schumaker coming in, it was offered to Tommy Lee Jones instead. I think it would have been really amazing to see Billy D. Williams as Two-Face when he was Harvey Dent in the first film, because apparently it was going to be in Batman Returns, but there was a lot of script rewrites and apparently a lot of his dialogue was given to the Max Schreck character. But I would like to have seen Billy D. Williams done up as Harvey Dent in Two-Face. This is the first Batman where you actually see Arkham Asylum on screen. It's really strange because I didn't realise that, but it's the first time to see the outside of Arkham and like the inside as well. I didn't realise that. When I looked that up, I thought that was really cool just to add in there as well. And finally, Val Kilmer's portrayal of Batman was Bob Kane's favourite out of all of them, from like Adam West, Michael Keaton, and Val Kilmer. He never got the chance because he passed away before, obviously, The Dark Knight and Ben Affleck, but it would have been interesting to see what he would have thought of Christian Bale's portrayal and Ben Affleck's, whether he would have changed his mind then, but it's strange that Val Kilmer was his favourite. So, in conclusion, the film is fun to watch. Joel Schumaker brings that balance of action and like the comic style and the 1960s like campiness, but I'm not sure what you call it, but into the forefront, and it's not as bad as the next film that I will have to review, Batman and Robin, but this draws a line for it. So there's a lot of the darkness of the Tim Burton films, and he brings his own into it, and it's not too bad to watch, it's fine, and it sort of has a nice balance. I think it's really fun to watch. There's a lot of memorable lines from it as well, and there's some really cool bits in it as well. Obviously the introduction of Robin, when we see Arkham Asylum for the first time, and Jim Carrey's performance as the Riddler, it's fantastic as well. Again, I'm a bit let down by Harvey Dent, but I think I was spoiled by The Dark Knight because I think we got it spot on there, the way they portray Harvey Dent in that one, so we'll see. But if I saw The Dark Knight first and then watched this, I might have been swayed, but I do prefer that one. I think it's just a bit over the top that his house has two sides where he's got a a devil girlfriend and an angel girlfriend. It's sort of like split in the middle. It's sort of, it goes to that comic book style. Sort of spoiled it for me a little bit. Again, it's not a bad one. It's not my favourite. I still prefer the two Tim Burton films from this series. But I've always wondered what the Tim Burton's version would have been if he'd have stayed on to direct this as well, rather than just the producer with Michael Keaton as Batman. Wonder what that would have been with Robin Williams as Riddler as well, but it wasn't to be. So that's the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you thought of it, any facts about the Batman Forever that you know that you want to let me know. I love hearing facts about films, so I'd love to hear from you, and what you thought of the Batman film as well, and anything else that you want to comment, just leave a comment. And I hope to see you soon when I review the next one, Batman and Robin.